Here's a fun and easy project that you can do in almost any version of Photoshop Elements. I'm in Photoshop Elements 2025, but you don't have to be using that. Hi, I'm George, and I'll be showing you how to do these nice thick borders like this around text, also how to do that drop shadow in behind, and how to include graphics with your line of text. Again, easy project, but it requires one thing, a nice thick typeface. Now what I have here, this is Cooper Standard Black, very thick typeface right there. And I think most people have this on their system already. It's a real standard typeface. If you don't have that, anything else that's real thick will work out just fine. Like Clarendon Black right here works out okay. That's not too bad, but there's a lot of thin things in there. I think you want to have the whole typeface relatively thick and not have any thin stuff. Like I wouldn't use this one here, Broadway Regular. If I come down, I have some other good options down below here. Gil Sans Ultra Bold is always a good option. And here's Grow Bold Regular. Again, a nice option. If you don't have any good thick typefaces, you can get these online very easily. I like using dafont.com. Let me bring that site up. And that's right here. Now, it may take some looking through here to find just the typeface that you want. There are thousands and thousands of typefaces in here. And they're organized kind of by category, like cartoon typefaces over here, foreign-looking typefaces, techno, basic typefaces, script typefaces. For this kind of a project, I would probably go for the cartoon or comic typefaces. Let's take a look at these real fast. Here's cartoon. Comic Jungle, that would work out very nicely. The Super Malibu would work out very nicely. Now what I do when I'm searching for a typeface is I go over here, it says More Options. Click on this. And to make sure you don't have any copyright problems, I'll check Public Domain and 100% free right there. If you do free for personal use and you're thinking of using it to sell something, then you may have to pay a royalty fee to use that typeface. So I just stay away from those things and I go for just these. There's still plenty of typefaces. Let's go ahead and we'll do Submit. Okay, now we're seeing typefaces that are 100% free. And we still have Super Malibu right there. Beaver Punch, that's not too bad. Super Mario, that's not too bad. Super Vanilla, that's a good one right there. Any of these will work out well. Now, if you're not sure about how to use fonts, just click on the logo up here. And right here's a nice explanation on how to add fonts into your system. Now, if you're putting a new font into Photoshop Elements, make sure you do it when Photoshop Elements is closed because it goes through and it reads the font list here when the program opens up. So if you have Elements open and you add a new font to your system, you won't see it in this list until you close down and reopen Photoshop Elements. Okay, so we'll stick with this typeface here. And I'll start a brand new project. Go up to File and New, Blank File. Now I'll be doing this at the default Photoshop Elements size. I have it set for a landscape, which means it's wider than it is tall. And if you're thinking about going for print, then you want to have a resolution of 300 or higher. 300 is usually just fine. Choose OK. And there is our new project file. I'll use Control-0 to fit screen. And we'll start off with our text. Click on the Type tool. Come down and choose your typeface in here. Again, I'm using that Cooper Standard Black, which is this one right there. Choose your color right here. You want this to be black, which is this one. 60 is a good size. 72 might work. Let's set the tracking here to 0. The tracking is the one thing that you can do in a more recent version of Photoshop Elements that we don't have in earlier versions. And I have this set at center type and anti-aliasing, which just smooths down the curves, makes the type look better. Okay, so we're all set. And just click into here someplace, and it gives you a text insertion tool, or if you're using a new version, either 2024 or 2025, you get this sample text up here. I'll just delete that, and here we are. So if you're using any other version, it'll look like this. And just type in the I. I'll do a capital I right there, and hit the check mark to set that in place. That's our first part of our text. I'll be doing this one on a separate line, and then my dog on a different line, so that I can easily adjust the space between that and put my graphic right here. Okay, back to our Type tool. Don't click near this, click out someplace else. And again, I'll just delete this so it looks like a standard text insertion right here. And just type in my dog. Now I'm going to do this upper and lowercase. You can do it all uppercase if you want to, all lowercase. It's whatever you want. I kind of like the upper and lower has a bit more variation going on in there. Let's just stick this over here out of our way a little bit. We now need to have something right here, and that's a heart shape. Just go over to the Draw section and into our shapes. Now this might look like a rectangle like that to you on your toolbar. That's the default. Come down to the options and click on this kind of squiggly thing. And then over here, a little drop-down list. Come in and do a search for the heart. And I think in most cases, it's the first upper left-hand corner right there. Okay, here's our heart shape. Set this at unconstrained. That's what you want. If you want to, you can go from center and then choose your color right here, color picker. I'll go for red. There we go. And since I'm going from center, I'll come right here, right to the center of the area that I want this to be at. Click on that and then drag out. Notice I can change the size just by dragging. And I want it about that size, I think looks good. And I can then move this around to get it just right. You also can change your size, just grab your corners, and you can change the size of that very easily. So there's the basic text, I love my dog. Now, if you want to have this a bit tighter in, we can go here to the eye. Let's bring the eye in a little bit like that. Let's go to the my dog. I'll bring the my dog in. I kind of like it being close in like this. If we do this though, it looks too wide over in here. Now, there's two ways to get around this. One way is to put my and dog on their own separate layers, then move dog in just a little bit more. Or if you're in 2024 or 2025, let's click into here and go to tracking. We can go for a lower tracking number like -25. That just squeezes things in just a little bit, and I think that improves the look. Again, it's a very small amount, not really necessary, but I like how that looks. Again, this is kind of a personal preference. Choose the setting that you like on that and the spacing that you like on that. You may want to change this around a little bit once we have our outline on this. Now to see the outline, let's hide that background. There we go. Now we'll start off with the My Dog at the top and go up to Layer, come down to Layer Style, Style Settings, and then over in here, set this to Stroke, and right-hand side, set this to White. Click anywhere here and drag upper left-hand corner. That's your pure white, or just type in all Fs right down below here and choose OK. And that's pure white. You can kind of see it in there. Set your position at outside and then bring your size up until it's nice and thick. What I like is to go up so I no longer have any transparency in the D section or over in here. Get it large enough so that those go away, which is right about there. And that's probably a pretty good size. That's 37. I'll set this at 35 just to be nice and clean about that, and then choose OK. Now again, we have a bit of space in here, and this is where you may want to separate my from dog and drag it in a little bit, or you can make your outline thicker if you want to. With the layer styles, go back up to your layer, double click on the FX, that brings this style box back up again. We can then adjust our size right here. Now again, the amount of size that you want there, the amount of border you want, that's your own personal preference. I'll keep this nice and thick. Once we have this done on one of these, go up here, click on that layer, right click on the name, come down here to copy layer style, come down to your next layer, right click on the name, paste layer style, that's the heart, come down to the eye right here, right click on the name, and paste layer style, and there's the eye. And here's our nice basic layout. Okay, we don't have our shadow on this yet, and I think I'll move these around just a little bit, maybe right about here, pull the eye out just a little bit. And again, I'm just kind of visually lining that up. If you want to have this taken out of here, you can come in and paint this part out with some white paint. Let me show you that. I'll go up here to where it says My Dog. Let's make a new layer above this. There we go. Left-hand side, let's set our colors back to their defaults and reverse those so it's white. Let's go up here to the paintbrush. Come down, make sure that your brush is on a hard edge brush. That's most of them in here. I'll just choose this 19, that's a hard edge. Let's check our brush size, pretty small. Want it bigger than that, maybe about 3 times that size. That's pretty good. Then just come in here and paint in just like that. It's okay if it's a bit rounded right here. That's fine. That kind of matches the whole look. All right, that's taken care of. We now want to work on this shadow. Now I want the shadow separate so I can adjust this. Let's go right here, right-hand side, click on the layer, hold your shift key down, click on the eye at the bottom. This selects all the layers, and then hit the group icon button right here. This will work in most modern versions of Photoshop Elements. I think from version 15 and up has the group option. We can now work on this whole thing as one group. So I can just grab it and put it around like that, move it anywhere I want to. There we go. Now this next trick, go over here, right click where it says group and duplicate group and choose OK. Let's hide this. And we're now looking at just our top group up here. In this, I want to combine all this stuff into one layer. So to do this, I'll right click where it says My Dog. Let's just simplify that layer. Come down to the eye, right click, simplify that layer. These are now all just regular graphics layers. Let's select all those layers, right click, and come down to merge layers. It's all now just one layer. Now hold the Control key down and click on your thumbnail, and that selects that whole combined group. Let's now again reset our colors to their defaults, black in front. Grab our paintbrush, we already have this at black, and just fill this whole thing in with black. Just go straight across and fill that in solid. There we go. Nice solid black. Okay, back to the Move tool, Control D to deselect, and here's our solid black. That's on our Group 1 copy. This is going to be our shadow. I'll just change the name up here, double click, and type in shadow. The shadow is behind the lettering, so I'll drag it down below. Look for that double line right there, and let go, and it's now underneath. Let's re-show our group that's on top. I'll double click here. This is going to be our text layer, or text group. Go up to shadow, open this up, click on layer 1 right there. Go up to filter, come down to blur, and then Gaussian blur. And then choose a nice mid-size in here. There is no blur at all. Notice as I go more and more blurry in here, you begin to see that edge showing around the outside. And if for this around 20, 25 is pretty good. I'll just type in 25 right there. Choose OK. And here's our soft edge in behind our soft shadow. If you want a darker shadow, all you have to do is duplicate this layer right here. Right click, duplicate, choose OK. And the shadow is now darker. If you want darker than that, do the exact same thing. Right click, duplicate, and OK. And you can make that shadow as dark as you want. Let's now see how this looks on different backgrounds. Let's come down here to our background. Here it is on white. On white, that's pretty dark, so I'll just hide one of these. Maybe hide both. And that's nice on a white background. If I have a darker background, I may want to have more of these layers in there. So having this in its own group gives you that flexibility to make your shadow just as dark as you want. Okay, let's come down to the background. I'll right click on this and duplicate. The reason I'm doing that is I don't want to lose that white layer. So let's hide that one. Let's now come down to graphics. This is set for by type, that's the default, and backgrounds, that's the default also. If I take anything in here, click on one of these, it changes that background for us. And here it is on a picture background. If I go for something real dark like this kind of purple down here, see how it's kind of hard to see that shadow? That's why I have these other options. I can open this thing up, make that darker, and now I can see that shadow. So adjust your shadow to match your background. If I was on white, again, I take out a couple of those. Now, if you want to have this with a transparent background, then save it out as a PNG file with transparency. So let's go up here to File. I'm first going to save this. That will automatically save this as a Photoshop file right here. And that saves all my layers, so I can go back and play with this later on in the future if I want to. I'll just call this one outline text and choose Save. Let's now save it out as a PNG. That's File, Save As. And in the drop-down list, come down here to PNG, and it should automatically be giving you a transparency on this. I'll put it right here in my graphics folder, choose Save, there we go. Now, if you don't get a transparency on that, then we'll use a different save tool. Go up here to File, come down to Save for Web, and change this to PNG 24, and make sure that transparency is checked right there. And again, there's your transparency. And choose Save. Now in this box right here, this is the save box. Notice that these things have a white background in here. These actually have a clear background. So does that. So does this. It just shows up white inside this one particular box. So don't worry about that. If you see white in here, it's actually a transparency. I'll just save and save over that one. And the nice thing about this is we've kept everything separate, so I can change the graphic to anything that I want because it's on its own layer. You can use any shape you feel like. There's lots of shapes to choose from over here. I could choose a paw print, for instance, or a snowflake, anything you want over here to make your interesting graphic. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. I'm doing new videos all the time, and I'll see you next time.